Welcome back to the podcast, everyone, and Happy New Year.
Yay! I'm so happy to be back. We're just coming off of our break. It was nice, but
We're
I'm
not
happy to
coming
be
off of
back.
a break. We're coming off of a bender.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Just kidding. No, but kind of. No, it was good to have a break. This episode actually won't come out the week after we record it. It'll come out a little bit later, so you guys are getting an extra update. But yeah, I hope you guys all had a happy new year and you celebrated appropriately. I don't know if other people feel this way, but going back to work is like the weirdest time after New Year's. Like the last couple days have felt like a dream. I don't know. I don't know if you feel that way.
No, because I never get any time off,
Oh
okay?
yeah,
I
yeah.
never get any time off. Every single year, I say to myself, like, the end of 2022, I'm like, okay, next year I'm going to take the time off between Christmas and New Year's. Like, why not? And then I never do it. And this year again, I'm like, why did I not take this time off? We're so busy. It's like our busiest time of the year. It's so hard to take the time off. But everybody's like, oh, I don't want to go back to work. And I'm like, bitches, I've been working this whole time.
I mean, this was the first year that I've like actually had a bunch of time off. I will say though, like in the past, even though I was like working, it was mostly like showing your face to work, doing a couple things, bullshitting with a lot of people, showing your face, like talking to people, catching up. Like it was more of like a culture thing. And also so that people thought you were working, like basically working as in we're paying you, so you should be here. And then last year with my new job, we were choosing to work because the company was still closed because we wanted to see like if business was going to be coming in because we didn't know. And I was kind of like half-assing it then too, just like working, not working, which is like kind of the work from home vibe sometimes anyways. But this year was the first time I've ever like officially had no work and I did not do well at all.
I feel like I would enjoy it for like the first couple days, but I feel like it would be too long. Like I'm so used to just like working all the time that it would be stressful to have that time off.
Here's the thing that I noticed because I'm always like, God, I just need a couple days to like catch up and do all these projects and things that I want to do. And like I had all these things in my mind of like, ooh, I'm gonna like write out my stuff that I want to like focus on and work on for the new year. I'm gonna write out my budget and go through my finances and get everything in order. And I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I think I had so much time that it was just like I didn't want to do any of it. I literally did none of the things I said I was gonna do. And I think it's because I had so much time. Like, I think when you know that you only have a couple days, you're kind of like, okay, I have free time. Let me bust it out really quick. Having a bunch of time, like technically 11 days straight, including the weekend, was so much. And like, I felt like a pile of poo, like a big poo poo head.
I mean, there is something to that because I have Wednesdays off, and Wednesdays are hands down my most productive days of the week because I'm like, hey, I have this one day off. Like, I'm going to get all my shit done, and I get so much done. So there really is something to like only having 1 or 2 days off.
Yeah, I would say like it's good to have the rest, but yeah, that's not the life for me. But it did make it weird going back to work. I feel like it's usually weird anyways. Like I just like never know what day of the week it is. It's like trying to like deal with regular life again and like Henley going back to school and all the things. It's just like no one wants to deal with it. It's like back to the routine. And that's one thing that I feel like is helpful that I've like established for a while, like a few years now, of like having a solid structure and routine that like even if I have some days where it's not the same, I can jump back into it pretty easily because I feel like back in the day when I didn't have a good routine, if it wasn't always the same, it would get messed up. Like if I started working out in the afternoon, suddenly I would never be able to work out in the morning or something. Or if I took a
Mhm.
couple of days off, I would like take weeks off, you know? So it is nice that I at least have established that type of habits and routine, but yeah, I'm not enjoying this week at all.
Well, we're finally slowing down ish at work, like a little tiny bit, but I just am really ready for just like a slow day at work.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like working in a medical office, but I would fucking hate my life for
It's
sure.
chaos. It truly is chaos, honestly. Like there's no other way to describe it.
I will say also like this week has felt extra rough because for sure we stayed up way too late on New Year's Eve.
Hmm.
I don't know who we thought we were, but we stayed up till 4 a.m. Taylor a
Yeah.
little bit earlier because she asked out on the couch, but like we weren't even like aggressively drunk or anything, but we just were living our best lives doing karaoke. We did our vision boards, eating snacks, talking. Like
And
it was,
honestly, it felt like the time was like fast forwarded. Like it does not feel like we had
yeah,
as many hours because I got to your house at like what, like 2 o'clock? And all of a sudden it's like
three.
2 a.m. in the morning. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, where did this whole day and night go? We almost missed midnight because it
Yeah.
like came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I feel like also I felt this way on Christmas too, where it's like maybe you're just like enjoying the time so much that it just like goes by really quick. I don't really know, but it felt like the second people got to my house, it was like 2 hours and then suddenly midnight, which it wasn't. They got there around like 6:30. And then after midnight, it felt like we were barely awake and suddenly it's 4 a.m.
Yeah. I also did not drink that much. And I was so hungover the next day. I
I'm
could
telling
not
you.
even function.
I think part of it is we didn't drink really any water once we started drinking, so I know that's a factor. Like once you hit over 30, drinking starts to change consistently. Like every couple months, it starts to get different, more and more different. And I
Hmm.
think this is why people say you have to have the hair of the dog. It's for old people, and that's now us. Because once I had a Bloody Mary, I was
You were
perfectly
fine.
okay. You should
Yeah.
have had a mimosa.
I really should have. It's just like when I get in that state, the last thing I ever want is alcohol. Like it's like, ugh. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
No,
like,
I
I
know that
do
first
need to
drink.
try it. I
No,
do
I
because
think
I was so sick.
I really think it's like that's why that's become a thing. That's why it's like what people tell you to do is because older people start to be like, shit, I just better have a drink because I feel so terrible anyways, maybe it'll help. And I think it's really once you get older. Back in the day, I never needed it. Now, I think that it's a thing to just kind of like
Shock your system back to life.
Yeah, but anyways, New Year's was fun. I didn't see a lot of people posting what they did for New Year's, so I'm
Me
very curious
either.
what their like celebrations are. I love New Year's. I love like the theme. I love the vibe. I love the sparkle. I didn't have confetti this year, and that was really bugging me, but I did make very sparkly, no, like
We
confetti on my
popped.
tables. Like
Okay, I was like, we popped very many confetti cannons.
no, like I like to have like on my tables like a sprinkle of confetti. And then also I sparkled all of our champagne, which made it very exciting. But yeah, I love the vibes of New Year's. It makes me so happy.
Yeah, if you guys did not see our New Year's drink, check out our Instagram because we made a, what did we call it? A New Year's ball drop, mimosa ball
Mimosa
drop.
ball drop. Yeah.
And it was so fun. It was such a fun drink.
Yeah, it was super cute. Basically, all you have to do is like make balls of juice or whatever you want to put into your drink, and then you get the edible glitter and you sprinkle it on them. And then you just drop it in and it was adorable. And the balls were like tiny, so it wasn't like a bunch of juice. But yeah, I don't know. I love New Year's Eve and I'm sad that I didn't see more people's celebrations.
Me too. A lot of people either they didn't post anything or they didn't do anything. And that makes me sad because it is so fun. And I am so happy to kiss 2023 goodbye.
I also noticed because I was doing my social media cleanse, I don't actually follow like people, like normal people, a lot of normal people. I follow a million verified accounts and people that I'm not actually even friends with, but like I think we're actually friends in spirit. So maybe that's why I didn't see a lot of people's things because I don't actually follow a lot of like regular human beings. But yeah, 2023, it's so weird because I was actually thinking about this, like how they're always like, this year did this, and this year did this, and this year I'm gonna do this. And like I truly believe that like 2022 was the one that definitely broke me.
Mm,
2023 was the one I was like healing and like developing through and like really just like sitting in it. And then this year I feel such a release. Like I
I do
feel like
too.
so much is gone out of my life. And I don't know what it is about like the year closing. I do know that like for Leo's, our energetic year is like coming to an end here soon in like
Hmm.
March. I think that's a factor. I usually start to feel this way anyways. I get like a
Hmm.
big push in like February, but I feel like yeah, last year I was just like really really like in the feels of my like healing.
Yeah,
So I'm
same.
really glad it's gone.
Me too. So every year I do like a journaling activity that I write down like all the happy and good things that happen throughout the year. There was actually a lot more happy, funny, beautiful things that happened that wasn't expecting, like that I'd forgotten about. So that was like exciting, but still 2023 was just not the best year. And I feel the same way. Like it felt like sad, healing, like almost like going
Heavy.
through like the trenches is what I
Yeah.
imagine,
It's
like
like heavy.
stomping through the mud. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. Like the second I stopped being hungover after the new year and like really realized like it's a new year, I just felt like lighter and just more happy and just like stuff didn't seem as scary and hard as it did before.
Yeah, I don't know. I have like a lot of really exciting feelings about this year. A lot of my like horoscope type things, Leo things, all of those I did like some random thing that Taylor had told me to do on Instagram that like talked about my like life number and all those things. And all of them are like so positive about this year that I'm like, wow, I actually kind of feel that. Like I feel a ton of this like really happy and positive energy. And I feel like it's gonna be a badass year. Maybe because I
Hmm.
don't have school too, and that's like a factor, but like I feel like I like shed 50 fucking pounds and I'm ready to like run a marathon this year. Like I'm amped.
Yeah. And you know what else is very interesting? Like all last year, I had the biggest like sugar problem. Like I crave sugar every day, candy, cake. I don't even like cake. And there were multiple times that I like craved cake, like cupcakes, all these random things. And I'm on my period right now. And I usually like need to have chocolate peanut butter. So like Reese's cups, like anything with chocolate peanut butter. And I have not craved 1 ounce of sugar. Like I even went back in at work. We have like a back office that has like some candy in it, and I got some peanut butter M&Ms. I had one and I threw the rest away. I was like, these don't even taste good. Like I don't even know. It's so strange to me. Like I'm here for
Maybe
it, but it's
maybe
just
it's like
weird.
stress. Like stress is usually like a big thing when people like reach towards sugar. Like maybe you really did shed like a bunch of stressful things.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. I was so shocked. And even my coworkers like, "You're throwing those away?" And I was like, "Yeah, like they just don't taste good to me." I don't know. I'm fine with it. I'm not
Yeah.
complaining. It's just very strange.
Interesting that that's what you crave. I always crave like buffalo flavored things, like spicy buffalo, like
Really?
hot wing vibes. Like I'm always like, ooh,
Hmm.
I want salsa. Like I want something super bold and flavorful. I'm never like, oh my gosh, I want chocolate.
Interesting. That
I
is very
know.
interesting.
I know.
Huh.
It's like I always know it's coming because I'm like, God, I want some freaking wings. Like, why don't I have
Wings
any
do
wings?
sound really good right now, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited for this year. I have not gone through and done all of the things that I want to focus on. We made vision boards for New Year's and I
Hmm.
didn't really have my thoughts together necessarily yet. Like I said, when I had time off, I didn't really focus on any of it. So sitting down and like working on the vision board was nice because I could kind of start that process. But I also just saw our January reading for Leos and he was saying in it that like it's okay to take it slow. Like we're not in that space yet. So like take the whole month. Like there's no rush to like get it figured out. This isn't actually when our year starts as Leos. So I'm like kind of really leading into that. I'm gonna take it slow throughout the year or not the year.
Hmm.
Wow,
The
that would
month.
be bad. The month and just kind of see where things land and not put pressure on me to like have it ready to go right now. Like I already have structure and things like that. I'm not in a bad spot where I feel like I have to like make a bunch of bold moves right now or like have a bold plan. I'm like, all right, let's slowly get to this week or maybe next
Hmm.
week.
Yeah, I feel the same. I usually make like goals for the whole year. And this year I'm taking it just month by month. Whatever I'm feeling like that month, I'm going to focus on. So I'm not going to have like an overarching goal set for the year. I'm just taking it month by month. I still haven't read my cards for the year. I usually do that like the end of December. I haven't done that yet. I haven't done like a full cleanse of my house yet. I've done a few rooms, but I like to every year like just throw a bunch of shit away, take a bunch of shit to the DI, and I haven't done like my whole house yet, so I definitely am moving slow as well.
Yeah, I actually want to sage my entire house here probably in the next week. Like I want to like say goodbye to last year, welcome in like the new year and those types of things. I think this weekend because I don't have like I literally I don't know if this is just because I don't have school. I have no life. Like I went to lunch with my friend today and she was like, because I'm leaving town next week, and she's like, okay, so like we should hot tub, which by the way, guys, I don't know if I mentioned it. I have a fucking hot tub and it's dope. But she was like, we should hot tub before you leave. And I was like, yeah, for sure. And I was like, well, basically, I'm available on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and basically Tuesday. And then I was like literally thinking about it. This is my new life. I have no plans on certain weekends. And I was like, who am I?
Yeah, when I was filling
Really
out my
weird.
January calendar, I was like, I really don't have a lot going on. I also don't have plans this weekend, so interesting.
Yeah, interesting. But yeah, so I think this weekend I'm gonna sage my house and try and like read my cards and do some stuff. I do want to purge a lot in my house this year, like our closets, a bunch of things, but I'm gonna do that kind of slow, and not put a lot of pressure. I'm also not buying anything online right now. And so I know that if I started cleaning stuff, I'd be like, I need to buy this for organization, I need this, and I'd be Amazoning a bunch. But yeah, I feel like I'm very excited about what I feel like I'm thinking about in my brain. I feel so much positivity about the year. Like I'm really planning to focus heavily on like my finances again. Like I don't know. And I feel really positive about it. Normally I'm like, I don't want to deal with my finances. It's so annoying and I want to cut back on these things, but I'm actually like feeling really
Stoked.
excited.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
feel the
weird.
exact same way. I
But
paid a bill this morning and I was like, oh my gosh, it's exciting to see this balance go down. It was on my credit card and I was like, this is so exciting. Never
yeah.
felt that before.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have like all this, I have so much positive like energy in everything that I'm like thinking of in my brain that I'm like, damn, all right, I'm ready to deal with these things. So I'm
Mhm.
excited to finish my vision board. I'm excited to like start getting myself ready for the new year. It is so weird that we are not already done with this. This is like I noticed it a little bit last year. We were less prepared as well. And now this
Mhm.
year, I'm like, wow, I think this is just what starts to happen when you start doing a lot of work in your life regularly. Like you reach a
Mhm.
point where you're not having to do so much. You're in the maintenance phase now. You get to pick, you get to be more choosy, you get to take it a little slower. It's not this like, all right, it's New Year. Have all these things I need. I really want to do all these things. Like I don't feel like my pile is so big anymore. It's like getting smaller and smaller. And I'm like, damn, this is like really cool because this is all because of our work.
Yeah, it's very, very true. It's very exciting. And when I like started making like my monthly goals for January, I was like, I think I only let me see because I just have them in a note in my phone. I think I only have three. Yeah, I only have three goals right now. And that's very exciting because I didn't feel like I needed any more. Like, I feel like I'm at a good space, you know?
Yeah, and like I don't want to toot my own horn, but I want to just point out to you guys like this is kind of what happens when you start busting ass and like putting in some hard work for a couple of years. I think that you'll get to a point too where you don't feel this like heavy thing where it's like, oh, new year, like I need to do all these things. Like, I don't know. I think sometimes people just like don't take it seriously and they probably think that we are like so self-absorbed. Maybe we are.
Yeah.
Probably we are. We're Leos. But yeah, I just am like super pumped. Like I normally would have a thing of like every month of like a bunch of things that I'm like January, I'm gonna do this. And it would be like 5 to 10 things. And it'd be like that for every single month. And this time I haven't even opened that note and made a new one. I don't even know if I will. But I don't know. I'm feeling really excited. I also one thing that I am doing to help keep myself like on task right now is I have notes in my phone of every single day. And before I go to bed each night, or I'll probably start to try and do it where it's like on Sundays, I'll like have a little moment with myself to like think about what I need to do for the week or want to do for the week. And I want to start building out my days a little bit because otherwise I have a feeling I might go crazy with all of this time on my hands. And I don't want to forget I don't want to forget the things I want to accomplish because it's like really easy to be like, oh yeah, I want to clean this closet. But then the weekend comes around, you decide you want to go shopping or you decide you're gonna go meet a friend for something, and then you forget that you're gonna clean the closet. So I think this is what I want
Hmm.
to do to try and be like, okay, on Friday, like I sent you guys that in that group chat on Friday, like I plan to read my cards and finish my vision board. And like now I kind of have it as a schedule of like, oh yeah. So tomorrow when it hits, I'm not gonna be like, shit, I have nothing to
What do
do. I
I
guess I'll sit on my
do?
ass.
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't
yeah.
know.
Exciting. I'm also participating in Dry-ish January. I say ish because we're going to LA to visit Lois in a few weeks. And you know that I'm not going to miss out drinking on the beach, but I just felt like I really needed just a little break. And I really want to like get into some mocktails. So I have some pretty delicious looking mocktails that I'm going to make. And I'm very excited for like a little mocktail era for myself.
I personally can't understand this phenomenon that is mocktails right now. Like, I'm sorry, I am not going to take the time to make a fucking sober cocktail to sit and drink it out of a fancy glass. I would rather grab some orange juice or drink some water. Like, I can't mentally, I would just rather grab a bottle of fucking sparkling water that's flavored. I can't process that people are spending time doing this. Like, I'm really, really not understanding it. Like, the time it takes to make sure you have the ingredients and then to like make it and do it fancy. I'm literally sitting here watching these reels all the time, like, huh, it's worth it for some fucking juice?
Well, it's not just, I found a bunch with like tea. So there's like the benefits of tea and like turmeric and ginger and all the benefits that you get from it. I don't know, but I love to make drinks too. Like, I think that that's such a fun
Mm.
thing that I really want to get into doing more of. But like, I don't know. I'm very excited to try some mocktails.
Interesting. Yeah, that's not a vibe for me. I get that it's like people like it because I'm over here like trying to figure out if I'm gonna start making sourdough. So I get like I get it. I really want to be a sourdough person, but the mocktail thing, like I'm just not understanding because I think part of it too is because I have a juicer and I have like all these things I want to make. The process it takes to like really blend a bunch of like ingredients kind of sucks.
It does
And
suck.
the thought of like making a mess just to have a glass of juice that's not even gonna like relieve my stress. I don't get it.
But I also don't drink a lot by myself. I'm very much a social drinker. And so, like, it's not like me to just like have a cocktail at night.
Yeah, I'm
So,
like a,
like a
I don't
glass of
know.
tea or a mug of tea at night, I have that all the time. So, like, if I could fancy it up a little bit, add some juice, add some other fun things, I think that would be very exciting.
Well, you should definitely post them for our peeps.
Yeah, I will for sure.
But I'm very curious about it. Like, what's that one that's like the sleepy time drink or whatever? I see it and
Yeah.
I'm like, that's cool. I kind of want to try it. But then I watch people make it and I'm like, I'm not, there's like six, seven different ingredients. And like,
There
the
is, and it's tart cherry. And I have the juice. I bought the juice from Trader Joe's because I really wanted to try it because it's supposed to like help you
it's
sleep
not
better, which
bad.
I have a hard time sleeping. But God, I hate cherry so much. I really do.
I don't know what goes into like the rest of the drink because it's again so much I don't fully pay attention. I've had tart cherry juice in like some like juices and stuff, and you don't really notice it because I hate cherry. Like cherry is a
Really,
flavor that
yeah.
I hate. I don't like fruit
So
punch. I don't like
gross.
cherry, and it's not bad. It doesn't like overwhelm, but I don't know if that's all that's in that drink. So maybe,
I mean, there's multiple different ways to make it, but like the base is the tart cherry, and that's like, ooh, creepy.
yeah. Another fun fact about me and what I've been up to is I bought a Cricut machine and I'm a bit obsessed. I always knew I would be obsessed because I'm actually like a crafter. I used to craft like decorations for my house all the time and I miss it all
Oh,
the
you used
time.
to craft so much.
Yeah, like the fact that I still have these decorations is weird. Like I keep thinking like, does this make me immature? Are these like not cool? I have no idea. I like them. Fruits of my labor, you know, but crickets I've always been like I didn't understand how they work and I was very like I don't have time for this anyways. I'll just buy the shit. Now I have all this time and I really like wanted to get one and I am obsessed. I am like whenever I have free time, I'm like, what can I make? Someone give me a project. Does anyone want me to make you anything? What can I put vinyl on in my house? Like, I'm literally obsessed with it. I did find out though today, or have an issue today, where I was ironing on Henley's. She has like this jacket with patches that I got for her for Christmas, and one of the patches started to come off. So this morning I was like fixing it, and I had this chair that I'm sitting on. I just had like the iron with its like cooling thing on it, which I thought would be fine. Like it's not even touching it, it's so far from it. And I had it just sitting here, and I went to sit down just barely, and I have a mark where it kind of
Oh,
singed a little bit of my little velvet stuff here. So
oh no.
lessons are being learned, but if anyone wants me to make you something, hit a girl up because I'm a bit obsessed.
I have a lot of things I want you to make me, so I'll send you a list.
Which is also probably a good thing that I'm not doing any online shopping in January, because I would be constantly Amazoning some vinyl or something to me to try for sure. Like
She did make
100%.
us some super cute glasses for New Year's.
I did. Those were really cute. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I've been up to. I think I'm turning into like a, I don't know what the word is, but like I want a sourdough and I want to craft all the time. So like I feel like there's like a word for
You're like a
like
little
what I
Susie homemaker.
yes, like I don't know, I'm turning into this. I'm not gonna have plans on the weekends because I'm just gonna be like inside my house like a hermit crafting and making bread, which like our friend Amy gave us some sourdough on New Year's
Oh,
Eve, and like
so good.
I'm literally obsessed.
Yeah, it is so good. So, so good.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's kind of all I've been up to, and I don't really have a structure of what I'm doing for the year, but I'm gonna get there.
Yeah, I don't really have a structure either. I haven't really been up to much. I got really sick over Christmas. So that sucked, but hopefully we just knocked my winter sickness out of the way and I don't have another round of it because I'm fucking over it. I took like an extra little class during the break and it was so fun. I'm just really loving school so much. And yeah, I'm not really up to much else.
I don't remember if you mentioned it on our last thing before our break, but you're like really starting to do a lot of fun stuff with yoga.
Yeah,
Um,
I am. Oh, yeah, I am teaching at a retreat, and that's so exciting. I've always wanted to take my yoga teaching to a retreat vibe. So I am so fucking excited for the retreat. The girl that I'm doing it with, it's who I did the like day retreat with a few months ago. And she asked me to come to this one, and it's like a really nice house up in Cache Valley and there's going to be like a private chef and all these
yeah.
things. And I'm just really excited for that. I also applied. My sister sent me this thing to teach at Zion, has like a big yoga fest every year. It's like a 3-day yoga fest that
Wow.
like hundreds and hundreds of people travel to. So I applied to teach there. I should find out if I got that by March 1st. So that's exciting.
That's
And
exciting.
yeah, I just recorded a new YouTube meditation before we started. I planned over the Christmas break to record like a whole bunch of content to post, and then I lost my voice, so I couldn't do that. So, anyways, we're going to get better at that. But yes, and then I'm also bringing back the moon circles at the end of the month. So, lots of yoga things happening.
That's super exciting. I love when you like really channel this and like do it for yourself and not for other people. I'm excited that you're like taking all of these like exciting steps. If you need me to make you a fucking t-shirt for your like
I do.
business,
I do. I really
if for the
do.
wellness retreat they need t-shirts, just kidding, that's too much. I'm just new
I was
here.
like, oh, that's actually a good idea.
No, but like low key in a future life, I would be a party planner, and I would make sure that when people come to things like this, they just had all the right vibes. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think people feel that way when they come to things I host anyways, but like
Hmm.
it would be another level because it's not my money, and that's all I would be doing is like creating a vibe. I love creating
Yeah.
a vibe.
Yeah. I'm very, very hopeful that I get this one in Zion because that would be so fun. So I'm
Yeah.
really putting out those vibes that I get that because wow, that would be really exciting to teach at this.
Well, and like it really expand your network. And I think that's one of the things that like
Hmm.
I for sure know I plan to focus on things like that this year where I'm just gonna like get out into I think we've talked about it on a past podcast episode recently where like I just want to get out into the community a little bit more, meet more people. I think that's gonna be really great for me. And actually, I don't remember what it was. One of the things for my year that I was reading about, maybe it was my Chinese year. Do you know what you are as a Chinese symbol?
Yeah, I think I'm a horse,
I'm
right?
a horse
1990.
too.
Yeah, because we were born in the same year, bitch.
Oh, I don't think it goes just off of the year, does it?
Yeah, it does. I think like what the Chinese, like at Chinese restaurants, they would be on like the placemats.
I don't remember what it is. I don't know what classifies it. I
Yeah,
feel like
I
it was
think it's years.
maybe. Anyways, I was reading it and it was telling me that like things like this were gonna happen that like if I expanded my network and like got out in the community and things like that, like big things were gonna happen for me. And I was like, damn, I've already been feeling that way.
Hmm.
So I don't know. God, this year I feel like it's just gonna be great.
Yeah, I think so too. I really think so too. I'm very excited for all the things to come. My word of the year is intentional. And I kept just like getting this like prompting and like signs that this needed to be my word. And I just really wanted everything that I do to just be with an intention. So I really love my word this year.
My word is embrace, and I don't fully know why that keeps coming to me, but it keeps coming to me. Part of the reason is I want to embrace more of like the things in my life, embrace like what was, what is, what could be, and not trying to like control a lot of them or feel like guilt or shame because like I wanted to be better. Like this is me like as a perfectionist being like always thinking about things like that. And it's like I really just want to embrace things as they have been and are and not like always be chasing like a vacation or whatever, like embrace like what space I have now or the people I have now because I just don't know what life will bring. So I think
Hmm.
that's why I'm brought to it a lot. I have to figure out how you determine your Chinese thing. It's driving me nuts.
I think embrace is good for you too, because embracing the calmness, because we have been so busy these last few years that we haven't really had any time to just like be. And I think that embracing that will be very wonderful, even though it's a little boring.
Ah, okay, so it is based off of your lunar year.
Okay.
No, yeah, I totally agree. But one thing I've wanted to mention to people is like getting out into your community. I feel like I think it was already happening before COVID, but since COVID, I think I've noticed it's worse. Like people are not socializing. People are
No.
so petty and so like stuck in their own worlds. They're not putting themselves out there. They're not taking risks. They're not trying to just expand and they're not social. Like, I think that's why I don't follow a lot of actual people on social media because they're not fucking social anymore. Like, people want to watch everyone else,
Well,
but they're
and
not doing.
yeah, and people like get afraid to like put
Yeah.
themselves out there. And it's like, why are you afraid? Like it's fun. Like that thing that we did up in the mountains, that was
Oh,
so
yeah.
fun to just like do something different that wasn't at our houses, like going somewhere. Like it was so fun. And I don't know, like people I think are afraid to just like put themselves out there, like they don't think that people will like them or something. And
It's
it's very
honestly
confusing.
reminding me a lot of like it was early on in our 20s when I think Instagram and Facebook were still like hot on the scene and anything that people posted, people were in like this negative mindset and constantly
Hmm.
judging. Like, hello, I was also that person. But people would post something or they'd have like a group Facebook and they'd be like, oh, they only have a group Facebook because they're not secure in their relationship. And I feel like it's gotten to this like watching through screens and speculation and a bunch of negativity because I don't know, maybe people just don't want to share what they're doing with life, but that's part of like we as human beings are social. We're meant to be social and get out and like expand our horizons and experience things. And if you're not doing that, you're not really growing or changing. You're not evolving and you're not going through these phases of life. You're just constantly going through the same thing because you're just doing the same thing. So like I don't know. I'm just for some reason it's been irritating the shit out of me for like 2 weeks now that like I'm noticing this about people in social situations and like people not wanting to. And I feel like it's gotten worse since COVID. And I thought it would get better because people be like, we're free. But I'm noticing
Hmm.
it almost made people worse. And I don't know. I don't know why it's bugging me, but it is. I just want people to like thrive and live their life and experience things. And I know I've been guilty of it. Like I know there's been like the last couple of years where I've kind of been like, damn, I don't want to be around people. And
Hmm.
it's mostly just because they're assholes though.
I mean, you're not wrong about that.
But yeah, I don't know why I had to go on that tangent, but it's been really irritating me.
So be
I
more
just want
social,
people to live their
okay?
life. Well, not even that. Like, you don't even have to be social, but like, do things that are different. Like, do more this year. Like, wake up earlier, go on walks. Like, walking has been the coolest shit in my life lately. Going outside and walking when it was nice was like the most
Heaven.
mind-altering situation. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I would go on a walk and I would just be like in such a good place, and the sun and the fresh air, and it's like it really does change things. And I feel like people just aren't experiencing the really simple things that they can do to make their life change so quickly. Like
Hmm.
I've started journaling, which is like again so weird for me, but I feel like things like that alone, like do it's so uncomfortable, but I'm doing it anyways. And I think that if people started doing that more, they would just like really start to live their best life. And I really just want everyone to live their best life.
Same. I do agree with that.
Also, I forgot to mention to everyone, I'm also sober right now, and it's kind of sad. Like I'm drinking sparkling water. It
I
is
love
refreshing though.
sparkling water. You can make such good mocktails with sparkling water.
This
Just
is an
kidding.
interesting brand of sparkling water. It's not a lot of bubbles, so I'm not
Ooh.
sure how it is sparkling.
What's the
Um,
brand?
Mountain Valley.
Oh, I've had that before. I do not like that because it's not bubbly.
It's
Oh,
not very
wow. That
bubbly.
was a hiccup.
There's a little bit of bubbles. But I don't know, it's like a subtle different thing. And I got it because I was like, this seems like it might be refreshing and new. And it was lime flavored. And I'm not sad about it, but again, I'm gonna be a damp January. I am sober right now because New Year's really was a lot for me. I could see
Yeah.
it in my face. I felt so like bloated and I didn't pee for like almost a whole day, it felt like it was just
Hmm.
really interesting time.
When
I
I
need
got
to relax.
Yeah, when I got home that night, I ice rolled my face and I could literally feel like fluid moving through my face because my
Oh my
face was so
gosh.
bloated. It was so uncomfortable.
I mean, that's another thing you guys could do. Ice rolling. That shit's amazing. The ice rollers are like $9 on Amazon. That's something that will change your life. Like, do little things like this. And I just really think you'll enjoy your life a lot more.
I could be agreeing with that.
Yeah, anything else that you have?
I don't think so. I do not think so.
So yeah, when you guys hear this, it'll be the middle of January.
We'll be
I
on
don't
our way to
really,
LA probably.
yeah, we will. Oh my God, we should record an episode there with
We should with
Lois.
Lois. Yeah, we should. That would
Yeah.
be so fun.
We have some exciting things for the podcast. You guys have seen probably that we changed our colors. We have added some more diversity into our color palette. Um, Colors are a bit trendy right now, which I don't really give a fuck. I like them and I think I'll continue to like them. The green's interesting for me though. This is the first like green thing I've actually owned. If you're watching on YouTube, this Tequila Help sweater is the first thing I've actually allowed myself to wear that's green. And it's actually a color that is for my skin tone and stuff, but I've always just hated it for whatever reason.
Really? I
I don't
love
know.
green.
But I've really leaned into new avenues in the last year, I would say. And yeah, so we have a new color palette. And when we go to LA, Lois is going to take we're having a little photo shoot because I don't know if you guys have seen where other podcasts have like pictures with the host, like so stressed about it. I hate pictures so
Same.
much. Like we don't have family pictures because I hate pictures. I hated them before I got Bell's palsy and I hate them even more now, but it's gonna be cute.
They're going
What
to
we have
be great. They are
what we
going to be
have in
great.
mind will be very cute. So yes,
Yes.
LA should be fun. We'll record an episode with Lois. We'll tell
Yeah,
her.
that would be
That will be
fun.
fun. Um, but yeah, and I'm excited for you guys to take part in our next session of this season, I think we'll have a couple more months of it until we go on the next break. So,
Yeah, and I feel like this season's going to be real good because we've just entered in a new phase of life. So,
and your girl has a lot of time on her hands. Just kidding. I still feel really busy, but I like to be very, very busy instead of just busy.
should we do our
Um,
asking for a friend?
I was just gonna ask that. So, because we're talking about this and because it was submitted, we're gonna do an asking for a friend. Wow, I cannot function on Instagram right now. Oh, that actually goes in line with what we were just talking about. So, hashtag asking for a friend. Why are you rebranding? Rebranding. Wow, rebranding.
Or
Fucking country.
branding?
Fucking country. Rebranding because we entered into, I don't know, I'm answering for Taylor. She can give her own answer. But we both were kind of feeling like we wanted to do a rebrand. We entered into the podcast sphere in 2020 and our lives were completely different around then. Originally the podcast started out with just Taylor and I anyways. Like it was always going to just be Taylor and I. And we entered into a friendship era that was not great. It had great moments, but it kind of just became like, oh, you're doing this with us. It was never like, it
This
was
is our
just,
baby.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was just suddenly like, oh, we're gonna do this, and now this person is joining us. So this person also created our logo and ended our friendship in a very toxic manner. And I just feel like the vibes, God, I'm really just late. 2024, apparently I don't give a fuck. Um, and I just feel like the vibes were not the way that I want them to be because of the negative energy that was around how we entered this space. And our logo was kind of boring. Like I liked it, but it
Hmm.
was just subtle and boring. And I have a lot of new free time and a new energy and passion for the podcast. So I felt like it was time. So that's my my reason I wanted to rebrand.
I feel the exact same way. I feel like every time I looked at like the color palette and the logo, and it just felt so connected to what it ended up being and not what Shelby and I wanted it to be. And so it's nice to change it up and have it not connected to those things. And it was just like a little boring. Like we had like five colors. I'm not a very
Dude, no, we
visually,
had literally three colors, official colors,
yeah,
but like those were our only actual brand colors. Like we had
yeah.
not given enough time to really set up our brand.
Yeah. And I'm not a very visually creative person. I'm not very good at making the content. Like I don't thrive in that way. I more thrive in like yoga type things, like moving your body, like the things I say, like I'm more creative in that way, but having those restrictions of like the three colors, I my creativity was dead. Like every time I would have to make content, I would just be like, fuck this. Like I'm so bored. I have no idea what to even do. Like I just my creativity was not able, the small creativity that I have visually was not able to thrive at all. And so I was just bored with it. I was very bored with it. So that's why I
Yeah.
wanted to rebrand.
I think the energy, just like the energy and vibes weren't there. And I would say with that too, like we didn't have any like templates in place of like structure. So anytime we posted stuff, it was always all over the place. Like we had no
Mhm.
theme, nothing that if you were scrolling, you'd be like, oh, this is Champs Drink Champs podcast stuff. It would just be
Mhm.
like whatever the fuck someone felt like that day that was kind of in line, but kind of not. And
Mhm.
as an Enneagram 1, that never settled with me. It drove me absolutely crazy. I cannot handle like I want the structure. I want us to be like, this is who we are as a podcast. These are our colors. These are our fonts. These are the ways that we post things. Because if you just have a bunch of random shit, that's what you do on your personal page, and no one's like recognizing us as like a legit thing.
Mhm.
And it was very hard to be, I felt the same way. Like I couldn't be creative because I didn't have the passion for what had been there. And it was so messy already. It was just like,
Mhm.
this is like whatever the fuck, like so
Mhm.
it was a lot of and we're getting rid of the and
And
having a
it
lot
feels
of
more
good
like
stuff.
us now. I
Yeah.
feel like we're heading in a direction that's more us rather than 2020 us, which I don't even know that bitch anymore. Like I was a completely different person back then. So,
Yeah. I mean, I still feel like I know 2020 Shelby, but I don't know, I'm really excited for all the things that are going to be coming, and I feel like ignited now, and like we released something that like wasn't serving us anymore. And hopefully you guys can start seeing that come through in the podcast. I also will say I have a goal to stop being so swearing so much on the podcast. I don't know if I can hold to that. I think that's just kind of who I am. Like I swear like this all the time. Like thank God Henley's an angel child because and Jaden really because neither of them swear and they know that they just shouldn't. And they don't want to, probably because I do it so much they're like, it's so annoying. Lessons have been learned. But no, I want to stop saying like so much and I want to try harder to not be so aggressively fucking it up. I think I have gotten better.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm salty, but
I
and it
mean,
has
I
to come
think I've
out.
said the F word more than you on this
You
episode.
have
So,
actually, I've noticed. I was like, dang, Taylor's
yeah.
feeling the words today, which is great. I want that balance. I need that balance. I need the yin yang so that I don't feel like I'm the only person that's busting out profanity in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well,
also, if you don't
guys,
like it, you probably just shouldn't listen. That's okay
yeah,
with me.
that's true. That is true because as much as we'll try to tone it down, it's not ever going to change. So,
No. Well, and I
yeah.
think that that's like what is the important factor with having our podcast. Like that's what we want. Like we want who we are to be coming through. I don't want to be changing who I am because Sally down the street doesn't like that I swear.
Yeah.
Like if Sally doesn't like it, there's a podcast for her.
Yeah,
So I
for
want to be
sure.
us, and that's when I think we'll be delivering the best podcast for you guys. But I do want to be a little bit better. Mindful. I want to be mindful.
Ooh, I love mindful Shelby. Next thing you know, by the end of the year, she's going to be meditating.
Honestly, if you got the freaking Peloton tread already, I would do yoga once a week just so that you'd buy the freaking treadmill because I'm
I
so
will
pissed.
I will buy it right now.
I'll only do it for 3 months.
Until
Once
the
you,
Peloton's paid
yeah,
off. How's that?
once you get the tread delivered is when I'll stop doing it.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I think that's our episode. I guess I'm going to buy a treadmill. So please make
Oh,
sure
yeah.
that you're following us on YouTube, Instagram, our private our personal Instagrams and our podcast Instagram. And share with a friend. We are so excited for this new era. And we will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.